Hello everybody, welcome back to OST Auto Reviews. I am back here again at Mercedes-Benz of Seattle reviewing this absolutely stunning 2019 Audi RS5 Sportback. Let's break this car down and complete a review. Starting up front, I've got to say this redesign definitely speaks for itself. Audi has definitely done a really nice job making this car stand out from all of the other sports sedans and sports coupes on the road. Right from this hood, you can tell that they've added much more lines to give it an aggressive, stealth, and much more angry look. Personally, I am in love with this car. Here we have the headlamps. This car does have the standard headlamps, but we do have the RS Driver's Assist package, which gives us high beam assist. Aside from that, we have the standard Audi logo and RS badge with their definitive grille. All of these accents around the car have been turned into black with the Audi black optic package. It's a very nice option. I highly recommend getting that car if you are speccing it out yourself or finding one to drive as your daily driver. That black optic package also gives us that gray Quattro logo, which stands for the car's all-wheel drive system, right up front there. Now, underneath this very nice but very, very heavy hood, you can see the absolutely glorious 2.9 liter turbocharged inline six cylinder. This engine produces a very hefty 444 horsepower and 443 foot-pounds of torque. Those numbers with the aid of the Quattro all-wheel drive system and 8-speed Tiptronic transmission in just 3.8 seconds. Very impressive from just an inline six. Moving on to the wheels, here we have the 10-spoke 20-inch by 275 width forged black wheels. These wheels are outfitted in all four corners of the car. With this car, we also have the dynamic package equipped, which gives us the RS Dynamic Plus suspension. It lowers the car, but also allows us to change the suspension based off different driving conditions. With that dynamic package, we also get these huge drilled brakes and red painted RS calipers. In addition to all of that, the dynamic package also gives us a sport exhaust with black painted exhaust tips. Now, moving on to the side of the car, you might hear me say this a lot, but this car is the definition of sinister. It has the black paint, black wheels, and the black optic package. It's definitely one of my favorite cars. I don't know if this is standard or the previous owner did this aftermarket, but the windows have also been tinted. They're really dark and they definitely complete the car. With the black optic package, these mirrors have been turned black along with a chrome delete across the car, except for on this RS5 badge right here. One thing to point out is that this car does have keyless entry, so I slide my hand in like that and it opens. Since this is a frameless door, the window does slide down a little, so it creates the best seal and I don't break the glass trying to close this when I close it hard, which I won't do because I like this car. Regardless of this being a 6-cylinder, it does get 17 in the city and 26 on the freeway. Now, moving on to the rear of the RS5, right out the bat, I want to address these taillights. These are the RS5's taillights, and I've got to say, they definitely remind me of R8 lights mixed with RS3 taillights. On the lower portion of the bumper, you can see the black ovular exhaust, which is a part of the Dynamic Package Plus. Down here, we also have a black splitter, which is included with the black optic package. Sadly, this RS5 badge and Audi badge are not blacked out, but I've got to say they help differentiate the car instead of just making everything blend in. They give the car a more upscale look versus something that's just been absolutely blacked out. Now, this is a Sportback, meaning it's a longer sedan with a hatch. So I can open it like this. So you can see it's a much bigger trunk than you usually just find in the coupe version of this RS5. Now, since we do have this very large hatch open, I guess let's just conduct a trunk test. Now, I'm afraid I have no way of closing the trunk, but I can tell you the trunk and tailgate, whatever you like to call it, will definitely close. One thing that did come out funny to me is that this is the highest trim level of the 5 Series that Audi has, and they still have the base model A5 trunk protector. It's kind of odd because, I mean, if you're making a car that's such high in its quality and luxury, you could have at least just changed the floor mat. Now, in this trunk, there is an upper protector to close away your things so nothing in the trunk shows, but this part right here is in fact removable. So if you do want to show off your things, for example, when you have golf clubs in the back of here, you can show them off to all of your friends. On the upper part of the trunk, we do have the lock and close button, or just the regular close button. Now moving on to the rear seats of the RS5, I have this seat set to my desired sitting position. I'm 5'11", and I've got to say it's okay in terms of comfort over here. These seats are very nice and comfortable, but I have very minimal footroom. Knee room is okay, it's better than most cars of this segment, but my headroom is compromised due to the Sportback sloped roofline. In the center, we have 2 air vents, a single climate control system, and 2 charging ports as well. On the side, we have Alcantara and carbon fiber, which are found in all of the door panels. On the side, we also have a large cubby for a water bottle and a smaller flat surface, which I don't know what would hold. Now here we are in the driver's side. I want to start off with this general side of the car. Starting off with the seat adjustments, forward, and the backrest moves forward and backward. This car pretty much has no headrest, since these are the sport bucket seats, which are an option in this car, and they're not adjustable. No complaints, they're relatively comfortable as well. This vehicle also has the basic lumbar support. On the side of the door, again, we have this carbon fiber and Alcantara across the door panel. This vehicle does have the very expensive optional Bang & Olufsen sound system. It's a 3D sound system, and I've got to say it sounds very, very good. This vehicle also has illuminated entry, which means that the RS5 badge over here glows up, along with a projected Audi Sport logo onto the floor over there. Now we are in the driver's side of the RS5 with the vehicle started, and I've got to say it's a nice place to be, very comfortable. It feels relatively open for how relatively narrow this car is. Now we do have it in reverse, so here's a view of the outside and the 360-degree camera. We also have many different, we just have the top view, the rear view camera, both of the side view cameras, and just your simple front view camera. Now this infotainment system, I believe I find a bit hard to use. Personally, there's so much settings within the settings that I feel I'm overwhelmed. I go into vehicle here, and now you can see all of the different drive select systems. Now if I put the car into comfort mode, it tunes down the exhaust. There's so many different things that the car does. Actually, I can show you what it does in the individual. So now I have the engine and transmission in dynamic mode. The exhaust is valved, so once I put it in dynamic mode, the valves open up and the car can definitely breathe. Now if I put it in comfort mode, it definitely has calmed down the exhaust. Now here we have suspension, steering, differential, engine sound, and all of the other options, and it's quite a lot, to be honest. Now we do also have control for the Bang & Olufsen sound system. These seats, I have to say, absolutely stunning. These are the optional racing bucket seats, which are black leather with a red crescendo stitching. These seats just by themselves will run you around $1,500. I don't know if they're worth it, but they definitely look very nice. And Audi has definitely been famous for this gauge cluster over here. They've been doing it for a couple of years when they have the navigation and all of your rev limiter and speed over here. We can see our power reserve and how much torque we're using, which is nice. The thing I do not like about this car is that you cannot free rev it when you have it in sport mode. You have to put it in manual mode. Now if I do go into all of these settings somewhere, I believe there was a place where I could change the ambient light settings. I don't know where they are right now. On the steering wheel, it turns very well. You can see that if I wanted to do some aggressive driving, I definitely can. These paddle shifters feel super premium. They're piano black with the metal surroundings, and they look so nice. They're relatively large too. On the left side, we have our cruise control stock along with our basic turn signals. Turn signals are turn signals, you know what those are. On the left side, we have our seat settings, our lock and unlock buttons. We have so many climate control vents, which are controlled over here. It's super nice. I love the sound that these make. Why do I have the heat seating on? My seat was getting really hot, so those work really well. I've proven it to you right here. Now here we also have traction control off. It has turned it off right there. Let's keep that on. I prefer a nice planted driving feel. Overall, I feel that this car has been designed really well, except it's just a bit overdone. If Audi tuned it down a bit, maybe made things a bit more simpler in their infotainment system, made things easier to find, then maybe this car would have been just that much better. On the top, we'll also have a sunroof, which is powered like this. It only opens about 2/3 of the way, but not too bad. Sunroof is a sunroof. I can't really complain. So that is all about the front of the Audi RS5. And one thing I did forget to mention is that there is a heads-up display. It shows us our speed, and that's it. It's a good option for when you want to keep your eyes on the road. Maybe if you're doing some aggressive driving, you want to make sure that you're not over speeding, which this car definitely can do, and you'll be unaware, completely unaware of when you are doing so. Here we are driving the RS5. Very quick acceleration, caught up to speed with no issues whatsoever, no hesitation at all, even though the engine is turbocharged. Now after that bump, I didn't feel too bad. The rebound stiffness of the car isn't too harsh like you'd find in an AMG or a M4. So in terms of city driving, this would be ideal. Now this car is very aerodynamic and it has lots of design behind its driving performance, and because of that, there's very minimal road and tire noise. Now we tricked that turn very fast, and I've got to say it felt absolutely planted. I describe this car as a sniper bullet in terms of how precise and how accurate the car is when you want to turn, how you want to turn it, and how far you want to turn. Overall, a very nice driving feel. I would definitely say that the Audi RS5 is the ultimate daily driver, and it definitely comes with a price, but that price is justified with the quality you're getting. The first competitor is the Mercedes-Benz AMG C63, not the S like pictured, but the regular AMG. It is much stiffer, but it does have a nicer sound and a bit more horsepower. The final competitor would be the BMW M4. It will definitely ride harsher than the RS5 and won't sound as good, but it may look a bit better. So this is the complete review of the 2019 Audi RS5 Sportback. Special thank you to Mercedes-Benz of Seattle for allowing me to review this car. If you are interested in buying this car is currently on sale for $75,998. This vehicle does not have an extended warranty, but I mean, you're getting a car, so you're getting a car. Maybe you can work something out with them. Special thank you to MichaelZ as well for allowing me to be here and filming this very special car. In the end, I would describe this car, if Batman had a daily driver, this would definitely be his car. we don't talk about that. This would be his car. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Keep on driving.